Hey everyone, it's Anne-Marie from Hella Basque. Welcome to the Hella Basque YouTube channel where we're talking about Basque things all the time. And today we are celebrating the 6-month anniversary of the launch of the Hella Basque YouTube channel. 6 months ago, I was just embarking on this YouTube journey and I was absolutely terrified. And so far, it's been good. You guys seem to have been receiving the videos very well, and I appreciate your likes and your positive comments and your words of encouragement. So I thought, to reward you guys and to tell you guys a little bit more about Hella Basque, I would do a Q&A video to mark this occasion. So I asked you guys on social media if you had any questions for Hella Basque. You can follow Hella Basque at Hella Basque on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So here are some of the questions that you guys came up with. Number 1. Oh, these are hard. What about being Basque are you most proud of? Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna save that one for the end because that's hard. Do you plan to learn Euskara in the future? P.S. You do a great job with your channel. Thanks. There were a few questions about whether I speak Basque and whether my family speaks Basque. So I personally do not speak Euskara, the Basque language, but Euskara ikasten ari naiz. I am learning the Basque language. There's a Basque language class at the Euskal outside of San Francisco, the Basque Cultural Center. So I've been taking these classes every week for a few months now, so I'm like right at the beginning of learning. I've grown up my entire life hearing my dad speak Basque and my aunts and uncles speaking Basque, but I never picked it up. So I do not speak Basque yet, but I aspire to speak Euskara one day. And yes, my father does speak the language. Next question. One of these questions actually wasn't for me, it was for my mom. Somebody asked, how does your mother feel about your identity? For those of you who don't know, my dad is actually the Basque one in the family. My mom was born in the United States to parents from France, the Béarn, the region right next door to the east of the Basque country. So she's not ethnically Basque. So I thought this was a really interesting question, and I figured who better to answer it than my mother herself. So, guest starring on the video today, we have my mother. Welcome, Mom, welcome. Welcome. Stand here. So, how do you feel about my identity as Hella Basque?
Well, this family is Hella Basque, even though I was born here to French parents who spoke a different language than French or English. So I'm used to hearing a different language all the time.
Will you tell our viewers what language that was your parents spoke?
We call it patois, but I understand it is from the Béarn. Do we call it Occitan? I'm not sure what it's called. Do you know what it's called?
I mean, from what I've Wikipedia'd, yeah, it's Occitan.
Okay, well, patois for us. Anyway, I don't speak that language. My parents taught us French, much as we did with our children. We teach them French, but I love that Anne-Marie has, and Stephanie, and I have taken on the Basque customs because they're very similar to what I grew up with. The Béarn is similar to the Basque. I don't know if they want to claim that, but that's my experience. So I'm very proud of Anne-Marie taking on the Basque identity.
Stop it. Well, honestly, it kind of makes sense to me as your daughter that you say that because I am Hella Basque because you made me Hella Basque.
Right.
Growing up, my sister and I were super involved in all the Basque activities around San Francisco, dancing, singing, all of that.
And who took you to those activities?
Exactly. Like, Mom's the one that was like pushing us to do that. I legit actually could never be a Girl Scout growing up.
That's true.
An American rite of passage for all American girls because Mom said I was too busy doing Basque stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wasn't a Girl Scout either, but my parents were afraid of American customs. That's the only reason why.
Okay.
I was raised very French.
Sure. And
yeah.
So I was raised very Basque. That makes sense.
There you go.
So you're okay with it?
I think it's fantastic, yes.
Okay. Well, there you go. Some of us are ethnically Basque and some of us are just real big fans of Basque culture.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us for that question, Mom.
You're very welcome.
And get on my video.
Okay.
Bye. Bye. Bye, Mom. Love you. Next question. Someone wants to know the amount of Basque speakers in the US. I'm sorry to tell you that as far as I know, in 2019, there has not been an official study of how many people speak Basque in the United States. I have seen research in the Basque country of how many people speak Basque there, but in the United States, I'm not sure. So if anybody knows or has a ballpark idea, let us know in the comments, because that one, I'm one person. I can't do all the research for everything and everyone. Next question. Have you been to a Basque club in college, and where can one find them? Well, fun fact about me, I actually did not go to college in the United States. I went to university in England. So there were like, they call them societies. There's kind of clubs over there. And I can't say I was too involved in any of them, and there was definitely not a Basque club. Where can you, if you're in college right now, find a Basque club? Well, if anybody knows of any Basque clubs on campuses in the US, let us know in the comments. I'm guessing there might be one at Boise State or the University of Nevada, Reno, because they have Basque studies programs there. But I think the best way you can find a Basque club at your college is to start one. Nobody wants to hear that answer, because nobody actually wants to be responsible for starting something. Like, I know it's not easy, but you gotta be the change you want to see in the world, right? So good luck starting that Basque club, and let me know how it goes. Have you ever thought of going backpacking through Escuela, through the Basque country? I'm not sure if that refers to like traveling with a backpack, you know, like hosteling, or actually like trekking backpacking. If it's the first one, I've already done that. Carry a backpack around Europe and stay in hostels. Yeah, so I've traveled a little bit through the Basque country. There's always so much more to see. But in terms of like trekking, I have thought about it, because I walked the Camino de Santiago from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port all the way past Santiago to the Atlantic coast. So while I was doing that, I did notice there are a lot of beautiful hiking trails in the Pyrenees, and I would love to go back and do some more. But as of right now, no plans. It is a dream. Someone asked, why do you write so little about Araba? Oh, perfect time to mention, I do have a blog at hellabasque.org that I write on regularly. If you want to follow that, link in the description below. I'm sorry, if you're from Araba and you're feeling left out of the Hella Basque experience, that sucks. Honestly, I don't write a lot about specific Basque provinces in general, and Araba's not the only one I don't write a lot about. I don't write or talk much about Sheepherders or Lapurdi, or even my dad's province. If I talk about provinces, it's usually Vizcaya and Gipuzkoa, because those are the ones that are mostly in the news that I read. Bilbao and Donosti are like big headline grabbers, so those are the ones I gravitate towards. So I don't mean for Hella Basque to feel exclusive, so sorry Araba, but I can make more of a conscious effort in the future to write more about Basque provinces, because sure, I don't have enough going on right now. Someone asked, what's the best app or online course to learn Euskara? Honestly, I haven't used any of them extensively because I'm taking this class in person, but that would be a great question or topic for a future video or blog post. So thank you for the suggestion, but as of right now, I do not have a recommendation of the best online course or app for learning the Basque language. But if you have any suggestions, help us out in the comments. The Peña Athletic Club California asked on Twitter, what are your top 3 favorite articles or videos you've done so far? That's an interesting question. I would have to say off the top of my head, my favorite video I've made so far was the one on Basque dating, because it was just kind of hilarious to think about that and talk about that. And honestly, if you go back and watch that video, I think that's the video so far in this 6 months of YouTube where I've shown the most of my personality. Like, talking to you guys, I'm pretty like, YouTube, trying to be professional, but the Basque dating video, like, I kind of let loose and just ranted at you guys like you were my friends. So if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. I also wrote a list on the blog. It's a compilation of different videos I found on YouTube of Basque sheepherders, a lot of interviews with Basque sheepherders in the United States, and kind of tracing back like where these sheepherders were in the US, which I thought was really interesting. So it was a nice excuse to like watch these videos and explore kind of more about Basque sheepherders. So that was a fun blog post to write. Also on the blog, I enjoyed writing a whole list of Basque restaurants in the United States. It was very much crowdsourced by you guys on social media, helping me with your suggestions and a lot of Google searches, but I put together a list of Basque restaurants in the United States, or at the very least, restaurants serving Basque food in the US. So if you want to check that out, I've linked to it in the description below. So there you go. I guess I like ranting on YouTube and I like making lists on the blog. All right, last question. We're going back to the heavy hitter. What about being Basque are you most proud of? This is something that I do get asked every once in a while, and this is something I think about because it's really weird that I've kind of set up my life or a lot of my free time doing Hella Basque stuff. And I do wonder, like, where does this come from? Like, why am I so interested in this? And like anything in life, it's hard to figure out your motivations, like why you do things. You just do them because they spark an interest in you somehow. But if I could say there's one thing about being Basque I'm most proud of, I would say I'm just really proud that the Basques have preserved their culture for so long. Like, it's pretty wild how old the Basque people are, how old the Basque language is, and that it's still around today. Like, since the Basques have been in Europe, like, other civilizations have come and gone, different groups of people, we don't know anything about them or their languages, they left no trace, and the Basque people are still here in 2019, like modern day, against all odds, colonization, oppression, states, whatever, you name it. But it's just pretty wild that against all odds, like, the Basques are still in Europe and all over the world. So I think that's pretty special that the Basques have been able to preserve their culture and language until now. I think that's the thing I'm most proud of. I mean, I personally really had nothing to do with that in the past. I'm trying to help that, you know, carry on now and into the future in my own small little way, but I think that's pretty cool and pretty wild and hella Basque. Survival. I come from survivors. All right, so that's it for the questions you guys had for me this time around. If you liked this format, please like this video and let me know. I can do more Q&As in the future. If you have additional questions, if you missed out on the social media, you can definitely ask me in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted your questions. I had a lot of fun making this video and I hope to make many more videos in the future, specifically released every Thursday. And I will encourage you again, if you have not yet subscribed to the Hella Basque YouTube channel, do that and hit the bell so you get notifications every time we post a video, so you can keep up to date with all things Hella Basque and learn more about the Basque country and Basque culture. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, and shout out to my mom for guest starring in this video. That was pretty cool of her. She's kind of camera shy most of the time, but she came out just for you guys.